Good morning, grade 5. Today we have a new story with a new skill and a new vocabulary. As always, we will start with the skill first. The skill for this week is generalize. So the skill for this story, the story is Ghost Town of the American West. Ghost Towns of the American West. The skill for this story is generalize. Generalize. Let's see this video, girls, then we will complete.
When you generalize, you make a broad statement or rule that applies to many examples. For instance, you can go faster on a bike than on skates. Or, skating uphill is always harder when you're skating for the first time. Clue words like all, most, always, usually, and often can signal a generalization. Watch for them when you're reading.
So our lesson today is generalize. Generalize. What is generalize or what is generalization? Generalization is a broad statement about a group of people or things. I will make a broad statement about this paragraph that applies for the whole paragraph. So generalization is a broad statement about a group of people or things. It states something that they have in common. It states something that they have in common. Now, girls, we have two types of generalization: faulty generalization and valid generalization. Now, let's talk about the faulty generalization. Faulty generalization means false. So, faulty means false. So, false, it means what? You know what is false? So, faulty generalization, girls, not supported by fact. Not supported by fact. So, when we have faulty generalization, this faulty generalization not supported by facts. I have opinion instead of facts. How I can tell that I have here a faulty generalization? We can know from the keywords like none, all, always, never, everyone, nobody. Let's see this example. I don't like peppers. They are all hot. So here we have keywords all. Not only that, this is your opinion. So this is faulty generalization. Faulty generalization. Let's have another example. A friend of mine got food poisoning from McDonald's last week. I'm never going there again. I'm never going there again. This is also what? This is faulty generalization. This is faulty generalization. This is your own opinion. There's no facts. So this is faulty generalization. I'm never going there again. Never. Did you see the keywords never? Okay. Now, let's take the valid generalization. Valid means true, the opposite of what? Faulty generalization. Supported by facts. Look, totally the opposite. Supported by facts. Agrees with what you already know about the topic. Agrees with what you already know about the topic. This is what we have logic. Uses logic and common sense. It seems logical to you. Now, proven with several examples. Let's see some example about it. Before we see the example, sorry. So, valid means true. We have invalid generalization. Facts. We use logic and common sense. And also we have examples. They will support the paragraph with examples. So this is what valid generalization. Let's have this passage and decide, please. This is valid generalization or faulty generalization. Ginger is one of my best friends. When I enter my home, she raced to greet me with kisses and excited sleeps. She acts like it's been 8 days since she's seen me, instead of the actual 8 hours. Her coat is honey brown, her eyes are large and loving. She's 6-month-old Cocker Spaniel puppy, a breed originally intended to hunt birds in England. Her faithful companionship comforts me when I'm sad or sick. Her playfulness makes me laugh when she races after a toy I've told. All Cocker Spaniels make perfect pets. What do you think, class? This is false generalization or valid generalization? Did I use common sense? Did I use experience? Did I use what else? Did I use facts? What do you think? By the way, this is the dog that I'm talking about, the Cocker Spaniel. This is the Cocker Spaniel. Now, what generalization is made in that passage? The generalization is all Cocker Spaniels make perfect pets. This is the generalization. Okay? Now, why? Why all Cocker Spaniels makes perfect pets? Is this a valid generalization? Yes. Why? Let's see. Does the author use facts to support the idea? Yes, he did. Share past experience? Yes, he did. To support the idea. Provide several examples? Yes, he did. Did he use logical thinking? Also, he did. So this is valid generalization. Clear, class? Now, remember, generalization make broad statements about a group. We are making a sentence that applies on the whole group. Some are valid, other are faulty. Valid generalization are supported by facts, examples, and logical thinking. Don't forget that. Watch out for words like all or never, because when we use all and never, this is faulty generalization. So this is the skill for today. Let's move to the vocab. The vocab for this week is, before we start, we have 5 vocab for this week. The first vocab is economic. Before we start, please, class, repeat after me. Okay, class, repeat after me. So you will know the pronunciation for each new vocab. Okay. The first one is
economic,
repeat, please. Economic. Again. Economic. Repeat the vocab. Economic. So the first word is economic. The definition.
of or about the management of the income, supplies, and expenses of a household, government, etc.
So economic, girls, is something related to the money. Management of income, what you are having as an income, money, from where your father is working, his income from his company, for example. Supplies that you are buying. and expenses, what you are spending. So, management of the income, supplies, and expenses. Okay, now sentence.
Families traveled out west in search of gold and economic freedom.
So, management of income, supplies, and expenses. Synonym, financial.
Financial.
Something related to the money. Okay, next word is independence. Repeat please the word independence.
Independence.
Repeat again. Independence. Who's not repeating? I can tell. Repeat please. Independence. The meaning of independence is
Freedom from the control, influence, support, or help of others.
By the way, we took this word before in the spelling, if you can remember. Freedom from the control, influence, support, or help of others. So independence, I can rely on myself. I don't need anyone to help me. I can live alone. It also we can use this word for countries. The countries that they got their independence, they are now free. No one is controlling them, any other country. So this is independence, freedom from the control, influence, support, or help of others. Sentence about it.
Americans have always spoken proudly about independence.
Yes, the American, no one is controlling them. So this is what independence. Synonym, freedom.
Freedom.
So this is the synonym for independence. Synonym, the synonym is the same meaning. So freedom, independence. Next word is overrun. Overrun. Repeat.
Overrun.
Overrun. Repeat, please. Overrun. Definition. What do I mean by overrun? Spread over. Spread.
To spread over.
Spread over. Sentence.
In no time, the West was overrun by miners.
In no time, you will like this one. In no time, the coronavirus was overrun by countries, right? So this is sentence about overrun. In no time, the West was overrun by miners. So again, overrun, to spread over. Synonym,
Swarmed.
swarmed, it means also to spread over. Next one is
Scrawled.
scroll girls. We can say it for the kids who's drawing in a wrong way. They are what? This is scroll. Scroll, written or drawn poorly or carelessly.
Written or drawn poorly or carelessly.
So again, scroll.
Scrawled.
Repeat please. Scroll. One more time. Scrolled. So scroll means written or drawn poorly or carelessly. Sentence.
Wealthy gold miners scrawled their names on the walls after striking it rich.
Synonym,
Scribbled.
scribble. The last word is vacant.
Vacant.
Repeat please the word vacant. One more time. Vacant. Definition. What do I mean by vacant? Not occupied.
Not occupied.
Not occupied, it means there is no crowd here. Okay, not occupied, no one is here.
That rundown building has been vacant for years.
No one, we're living there for years. Vacant, not occupied. Not occupied, it means there is no crowd here. I have no one living in this area, for example. So, not occupied, look, no one is here. So, not occupied, vacant, empty. So, let's see the synonym. Synonym, empty, empty. Okay? So those are the 5 new vocab that we have for this week. The first one, vacant, not occupied, scrawled, written or drawn poorly or carelessly, overrun, spread over, and independence, freedom. What else? We have economic. Economic, it means financial or about the management of the income, supplies, expensive for the household or government. So those are the 5 vocabs for this week. Five. Do you have any question about the vocab?
No. No, teacher. No.
Do you have any question about the generalization?
No. Teacher, I didn't understand scroll.
The what?
Scroll. I didn't understand that.
Yes. Now, if you want to check, for example, your brother or your sister who's younger than you, how they draw in their sketchbook, you will find lots of scrolls, right? Because they can't draw or write in a right way. So this is what scroll, okay? Written poorly. Yes. I need.
Yes. We look like repeating everything because we have to.
Not everything. We have new things. I need you to open your books now, class.
Teacher, which book?
The readers and writers. The readers and writers.
Page what?
Page 362. 362, please.
Teacher?
Yes?
I want to show you something.
Let's finish first the vocab, okay?
Page what?
Now,
362.
362. Now, draw a line to connect each word on the left with the definition on the right. What is scroll?
Teacher, can I answer?
Yes, answer please.
Written or drawn poorly or carelessly.
Excellent. Very good, yes, Sarah. So, written or drawn poorly or carelessly. Now, independence. What do I mean by independence?
Me.
Yes, please say the answer. Independence.
Me.
Independence, class. Class, page 362.
Teacher.
Yes, please tell me what is the correct answer.
Last one, freedom. Freedom from the.
Excellent. Freedom from the control, influence, support, or help of others. Now, vacant.
Can I do vacant?
Yes, please. Vacant.
Vacant.
Not occupied. Very good. Not occupied. Now, overall.
Cross it.
362.
362.
Now, overall, Jane.
Yes, teacher.
Overrun.
Overrun. It means. Okay, wait, teacher. Remember. Overrun.
Class,
Read it,
grade 5, why you're not ready?
Me.
Type please say the answer.
Spread over. Spread over.
Spread over.
Teacher Lujan said
Spread
answer.
over. Spread over. Now, economic.
خلاص.
Yes, about the management of income. Now, next answer, please. Choose the word from the box that best complete the sentence below. Write word on the line. You can find evidence of Old West in the rundown.
Teacher.
Yes,
Vacant.
vacant. Very good. I'll give you the answers later, so don't write now anything.
Can I
Yes, sure. All buildings that stand like those in Colorado. At one time, these booming towns were what?
overrun.
Overrun with what? Prospectors. The prospectors had come in search of gold
Teacher, please me.
and what?
Teacher me Farah.
Yes, Farah.
Teacher.
Gold and something related to money. What is it?
Teacher, in the economic.
Economic. Who's asking about the page? 362. Now, 30. Oh my God. Okay. An old wall and those are the names and dates of particular wealthy gold
Teacher.
rushers. Yes. Scrolled. Yes, scrolled on old walls. Now, the last one, unfortunately, their financial success, independence,
Please.
or freedom was short-lived as the gold boom busted.